My name is Linda Lane, just for those of you who don't know me. I am a member of the Hearts and Hands Quilters. It's just a name we named ourselves for our Quilts of Valor group. And I want to thank you for inviting me this afternoon to present this quilt to Kenneth. And this is just a little background on how Quilts of Valor got started. In November of 2003, a lady named Catherine Roberts had a son, Nathan, who was deployed in Iraq. In her words, I was always 10 seconds from panic. She had a dream one night, and according to Catherine, the dream was as vivid as real life. I saw a young man on the side of his bed in the middle of the night, hunched over. The permeating feeling was one of despair. I could see his war demons clustered around, dragging him into an emotional gutter. Then, as if viewing a movie, I saw him in the next scene, wrapped in a quilt. His whole demeanor changed from one of despair to one of hope and well-being. The quilt had made a dramatic change. The message of my dream was, quilts equal healing. As a result of Catherine's dream, the Quilts of Valor Foundation was started. And to this date, and this was as of the end of September, over 257,059 Quilts of Valor have been awarded in the U.S. and overseas since 2003. I didn't bother looking it up to see what the latest number was because they won't have a complete one until the end of October, so we'll just go with the 257, but that's a lot. A Quilt of Valor is not a charity quilt. It is not a birthday present or a Christmas gift. It can never be bought, and it should never be sold. To our service members and veterans, it's priceless. A Quilt of Valor is a healing and comforting gesture, a tangible thing they can wrap around themselves and know that someone thinks about them with love, care, and gratitude. A Quilt of Valor is the Foundation's version of a Purple Heart. The Foundation is about people, not politics. Our veterans of World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan have given us legacies such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They have preserved the American dream, the American way of life. They have sacrificed much so that the cherished concept of freedom and liberty will forever permeate this great land. They have continued to be the foundation and uphold the principles on which the great nation was founded. Many of us did not join a branch of the service or put ourselves in harm's way, but we can serve our country by honoring those who did. That's what Quilts of Valor are all about. I ask everyone here today, from this day forward, to thank a veteran, if only with a handshake or a smile. And a great big thank you to all the veterans who have served our great nation in order to preserve our freedom for all future generations. Thank you, and God bless us all. And then to each veteran who receives the Quilt of Valor, we also have a letter that goes with it. And this letter says, in this case, Dear Kenneth, this Quilt of Valor is awarded to you to thank you for your service to our country. There are 3 layers to your quilt. They can be compared to 3 layers of caring. The top of your quilt, with its many colors, shapes, and fabrics, represent the communities and the many individuals we are. Each stitch in your quilt represents the love, gratitude, and sometimes tears of the maker. The batting is the center of the quilt. and it represents the hope that it will bring warmth, comfort, peace, and healing to you. And the backing is the strength. It holds the many parts of your quilt together. It represents your strength, your faith in God, in yourself, your family, your community, and your nation. Thank you, Kenneth, for your service to our country. We appreciate your strength and valor to protect our freedom. And it's signed sincerely in my name, and then underneath it, Hearts and Hands Quilters, the organization. Then I have a poem that I like to read. And this one is entitled, Remember This, with an author unknown. And this is the poem. It is the veteran, not the preacher, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the veteran, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the veteran, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to assemble. It is the veteran, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the veteran who salutes the flag, who serves the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag. Now we get down to Kenneth himself. And this is the information that he has shared with me that I will share with everybody here. And he told me he'd never received a Quilt of Valor, and he was willing to receive one. He served in the U.S. Army from 1967 to 1970, and the Iowa Army National Guard from 1974 to 1994. And at the time of his discharge, he was a Sergeant First Class. And the dates served and where overseas, he was in Vietnam from 67 to 68, and 69 to 70 in Germany. Now you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on this one. I think I got it from that conversation the other night, but Ken served as a reforger in Germany during the annual training while in the Guard. Okay. I didn't think it was back to the 69-70 time. Okay. And these are some of the awards. There must be others because he just gave me these, but these are the ones that meant something to him. He received a Certificate of Achievement on 12/10 of 1968 in Vietnam. He received an Iowa National Guard Commendation Medal on January 28th of 1983. And he has a Certificate of Training for Field Sanitation School from April of 1986 at Camp Ripley, Minnesota. And a 47th Infantry Viking Division Certificate of Training for Food Service Workshop on April 1988 at Roseville Training Center, Roseville, Minnesota. Is that also Camp Ripley?
It's halfway there. It's in Minneapolis.
Okay, so they are totally different locations then. I just never had heard of the Roseville. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'll wrap this around you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And on the back, there is a label with your name and the information on it, and it's also got washing instructions. But that tells you that's your quilt.
Thank you.
And we do thank you very much. And along with the quilt, we have, it's a pillowcase, basically, but we call it a presentation case. And you can use this however you wish. You can use it on your pillow. You can just store the quilt in it, like in the summer when you're not using it. But it's yours to go with the quilt in your, and please use that quilt. Don't hide it away. Just Make sure you use it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And also with that, we have a certificate. This is the letter that I read.
Okay.
And this is a copy of your information sheet and the prayer and the poem and the speech. I usually like to give that to the recipient of the quilt so that they have that to remember as part of their award. And this is the certificate. Sergeant First Class Kenneth Eugene Mortensen, and the dates, the U.S. Army from 67 to 70 and National Guard from 74 to 94. On behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation, in recognition of your service and sacrifice for this nation, it is a privilege to serve, honor, and comfort you upon the, I got it turned around so I can read. It is a privilege to serve, honor, and comfort upon you through the award of this Quilt of Valor. Though we may never know the depth of your sacrifice to protect and defend the United States of America, as a gesture of gratitude from a grateful nation, we award you this Quilt of Valor. And thank you.
Thank you.